nominations amid intrigues and lobbying, just as President Tinubu moves to create new ministries. But let me report that I'm hanging out with Baba Jide Kolade Otitoju, BKO. I greet you, Jide.
Good evening, citizen.
Yeah. We also have Tunde Abaton joining us. Tunde, good evening.
It's a pleasure to be here again.
Okay. The team is ready. I hope you are. All right, let's start from Abuja, specifically in the House of Representatives. You know, in our type of democracy, power sharing is more or less a winner-takes-all exercise. The Speaker of the House, Tajuddin Abbas, has announced the names of chairman and deputy chairman of standing committees. There are 134 standing committees for the 10th House. Now, 80 of those were allocated to the ruling All Progressives Congress APC, while 54 went to the 7 opposition parties. In politics, I dare say that political power sharing is rigid, Jide.
Yes, it is. And just as many people expected the president to reward party members who showed loyalty, who showed tremendous support and hard work in the course of the campaigns. House of Reps members too, who supported Tajuddin Abbas from the beginning. We've seen them being rewarded. You can see Ikenga Gochinyere being given the chairmanship of Petroleum Downstream. That's tremendous for a first-timer in the House and someone from the opposition. You know, it's
there's a message.
Yes, because he was easily the most dominant person going to TV stations to campaign for
Abbas.
And you would think that he had been in the House for years because he was reeling out the qualities of Abbas, like somebody who had worked with him. Whereas the truth was he never worked with him. So, and a lot of politicking.
Sorry, I hear that in politics you leave no stone unturned and you leave no stone unturned.
That was playing with words above my pay grade.
Oh, come on.
So PDP got 39, NNPP and LP got 6 each.
SDP and YPP 1 each.
Yes. So an APC took 80. That's to be expected because they are majority. Now, you will see, when I say politics, also was really being played here. Yusuf Gagdi was one of the people campaigned against, who wanted the chairman, the House speakership.
Yeah.
In the end, he was prevailed upon to
step down.
Yusuf was given his old committee, which is the House Committee Chairman for Navy. So they gave it to him. Jimmy Benson, the Lagosian, and one of the closest to the current chief of staff, Bajabiamila, retained his defense committee, which is one of the plum chairmanship positions.
What you call juicy ones.
Yes. Now, Betara, who also contested against Tajuddin Abbas and who had such tremendous support, who was even described as someone who helped some of his colleagues while they were campaigning with funds. Because when you are chairman of the House Appropriation Committee, you are like the Lord of the Manor.
Yeah.
Because that is by far the most
My
powerful.
people say Now you hold the yam, now you hold the knife.
Yes, because that's by far the most powerful committee in the House. This time around, they didn't give it to him because clearly they didn't want to empower a man who fought with them till the very end. So they gave him the FCT committee this time and got someone from Kano and gave the appropriation chairman because Betara is popular and is loaded, if you understand my lingo.
Yeah.
So they didn't want to continue to empower him. It's very clear to see what has happened. Some of those who would have wanted to become maybe majority leader, they opted to not become majority leader, keep their committee positions. Because when you are a majority leader, you are everyone comes to you, everyone blames you when things go wrong in the House. But you can be in your committee and simply be doing your thing. I think that ultimately, lawmakers should focus on putting Nigeria first.
More than anything else.
Not think of the money that can come from committees. Yeah. Because when you see all this lobbying, all this for committees, it means that we don't want to change. We still want to continue to behave the way we behaved in the past. And what Nigeria wants to see now are lawmakers fully focused on working for the people, not bothered about whether the committee is juicy, whether they can find money. Why should the committee even be juicy? If it is not corruption
why
that
should
we are
it
talking about.
attractive?
I mean, if it's simply to do your work of oversighting the MDAs, why should you think
of big deal?
Yes, but this is Nigeria, and the more we expect things to change, the more
they remain the same.
Yes.
As the French would say today. You are enamored of the distribution of
naturally, you see the tone of President Bola Tinubu's campaign before he even emerged as the president. And when he did emerge, he did it through a hand of fellowship to other co-contestants. And he has told Nigerians that he will want to run an inclusive government, irrespective of whichever party you belong.
Yeah.
Look at the list of ministers. Even there are some people that are not actually his own people. But the thing remains that, like he said, all members of the so-called committees survive, because it is not that we see people loving for committees.
Today they are not so-called, though.
Yes. Committees, lobbying for headship of committees because of the size of Nigeria's budget, because they have to oversee each of the MDAs and ministries. But they have to push. I am not surprised that it was keen in the sense that the speaker will also want to empower, quote, all those people who worked for his victory. But those people must also know that for them to remain relevant at home, we have to work for the interest of the people. By actually doing that oversight function for which you have been entrusted. Yes, you can say headship of the Petroleum Committee or headship of the Maritime. It's very, very important. But it will only be relevant if you can do your work properly. And that is then when Nigerians will not begin to ask questions. I keep on telling people that nobody bothers about who rules him. If you can go to the filling station, fill your tank, you can go to the market, buy what you want to want. You wake up in the morning.
Without let.
You snap the door and the electricity come. Nobody bothers about who your president. But people begin to ask where they come from or ponder who is their leader when there's failure of governance. And I believe that all these committees, all these 134 committees, there's nobody in the House of Rep, everyone that will not belong to one committee or the other. We belong one way or the other. Let them go there and do the job as it's supposed to be done. If you do your job very well, the executive will be put on their toes because their job is to make laws for the good governance of Nigeria and to help the president because he has shown that he wants to listen. But if the members choose to go and sleep, they will only dictate to the whims and caprices of the executive. headed by the president. But they can better do their own, even though they belong to the same party. Look at American Congress, the way they criticize each other. You will sit beside the prime minister like this, and the man will be asking the prime minister very difficult questions, even though they belong to the same party. Which means the interest of the people matters more than personal interest. So I think there's a challenge for this 10th Assembly. They have demonstrated by the Speaker that they have allowed the windfall to go around, but they should do their job of oversight well.
More than anything else.
They should do it well.
Okay. At least Jide will not be vexed at this. We have seen 99. So we'll be 100. Let them do the job for which.
As long as 100 remains greater than 99.
that one makes a
people
difference.
Aspire to
cross
to be 100.
Yeah. Okay, that's it. Let's go to our next story. You know, in a move reminiscent of the 2003 creation of the Local Council Development Areas, LCDAs, in Lagos State by then Governor Bola Ahmed Tinubu, Ondo State government has announced the creation of 33 LCDAs. The State Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice, Charles Titiloye, revealed the development after the State Executive Council meeting in Akure, the state capital. Of course, the bill will be sent to the State House of Assembly for enactment and necessary legal backing. Tunde, it's possible.
Well, it is possible. You see, this is actually a demonstration of the faith we have in the Federation of Nigeria. Each of the states should be in a position to create local government that are seen to be viable and viable entities that they can maintain. The other time in 1999, 2001, when then Asiwaju, governor of Lagos State, created 37 SCDAs, the former president seized the Lagos State money for 2 good years. He did not release the allocation to them, saying, even though the Supreme Court interpreted, and the Supreme Court just said that the interpretation was not done in German or French, it was done in English, that the action of the president violated the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Now, the 37 SCDA in Lagos, I believe that Lagos SCDAs are much more functional than most SCDAs, which name are in the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. We have several LGAs. We have 774 local governments in Nigeria. But the question you ask yourself is...
minus Bakassi.
We have to take care of your interest. So the question is that if they are viable entities, I could remember that in the Second Republic, in Ogun State, the late Bisi Onomajo created 35 local government areas. They called it local government area. When the military came, they sent them away. Governor Ibikunle Amosun too followed the example of Asiwaju in Lagos. He created about 30 local government areas. When this governor came, he sent them away. The question you ask yourself is that, can't we think out of the box? Because if you ask me, Lagos State should be, local government should be allowed to give any palliative to people, not even state governments that are far to the people. So I believe that creating local governments is bringing government nearer to the people. So far, they follow these steps. If the Supreme Court can rule that Lagos State government followed all the steps in creating SCDAs, they did not create local government, they created local council development areas, which today are viable, and everybody knows that you go to SCDA in Lagos State. So people should follow Lagos model by creating SCDAs that are viable, that will not be a pain in the neck of the state government, and be able to generate revenue, even when the federal government refuses to give them money. I would have thought that the Ondo State House of Assembly, they will have done their homework well and see that even though those SCDA will not be listed in the Constitution of Nigeria because it is not yet amended, they will be viable enough to be able to retain that area so that another governor will not come and throw them away. Because the most important thing is that it has to bring governance to the people, not collecting salary. You go to some local governments outside Lagos, you will ask yourself, local government that are listed in the 770, among the 774 local government in Nigeria, you ask yourself, are these ones local government? What do they use their monthly income for from the federation account?
What do they use it
What do they use it for?
So Ondo is telling us it can be done, and we're doing it.
Yes. You know, when you were talking about how the Lagos State, under the leadership of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, created the local council development areas, you literally roll back the years in my head, because I remember breaking that story at that time. I was editor of PM News, but I went to take the list from Senator Tokunbo Afikuyome on Lagos Island at that time. Afikuyome, the entire map of Lagos is in Afikuyom's head. He's so knowledgeable about the Lagos area, and that's why during elections it's always useful, because he knows all the nooks and crannies of this state. So I took that list from him and I broke the story by myself. I took a bike, straight to the office, and before 12 noon that day, we broke.
Sorry, it was out.
Yes, and every time those local council development areas come to my mind, I remember what transpired. Yes, no doubt the governor then wanted to take development to every part of Lagos. Look at Ikorodu, as vast as it is. Ikorodu is bigger than Ijebu-Ode.
Yes.
And you just can't run Ikorodu effectively with one local government. I've seen local governments in many parts of our country. So the local governments that I've seen in this part of the country are the size of 3 or 4 elsewhere. Look at Ifo, for example.
In Ogun
State. Look at where Ifo began from. Look at where Ifo is after Ewekoro, and then it terminates somewhere here around Ojodubaga. You can imagine. That's one local government.
70 kilometers.
That's one local government. And there are many like that. Look at Alimosho before they split Alimosho into different. So he knew that it would not really work. But we can see that those local council development areas, I'm not saying all of them are success stories, but you look at Ojodu, it's difficult to believe that Ojodu was actually carved out of Ikeja. They created 3 local governments out of Ikeja.
You mean LCDs?
Yeah, yes, yes. They created, it used to be one local government.
Yeah, I remember.
They created Ojodu.
Maryland?
This place where Obasa was chairman for years. Onigbongbo.
Okay.
Created Onigbongbo.
Yeah.
And then Ikeja itself, taking care of where the local government headquarters used to be around the Ikeja Bridge area.
Yeah.
Those areas. So, and in terms of the land area, Ojodu bigger than the rest of them. But when you look at Onigbongbo, you see the big companies, and so with the capacity for Onigbongbo to actually generate a lot of money. So the idea, very good. And I can tell you, after that, other states too have been creating local council development. It took an Ashwaju to start it. Others too. Because the reason they call them local council development areas is you can't call them local governments, because all local governments their names are listed in the constitution. So he found a way to create those local governments, and then what used to be due to one local government, all of them will now share. So development will go around.
Yeah. And then idea. Each LCDA obviously will create the knack for generating money.
Of course, they are generating their revenue.
Yeah.
Internal revenue by themselves, and things got better and better. Today, I'm telling you, if they told you that Ojodu is not really old, you won't believe it because things have settled down nicely and they've been operating like a successful local government. In fact, many people don't add the local council development area. They simply call them Ojodu local government, Onegogwe local government, because they've been run properly, you know.
Over time.
So it's difficult for a civilian administration to create states. It's difficult for a civilian administration to create local governments.
Yeah.
Because to hammer out unanimity is always difficult for them. But for the military, 3 persons can decide for everybody. Just come to the meeting, they say, okay, we've decided to do this, and the rest of them will salute. Our guys decided. You can't look into your guy's face and be arguing.
Makes me remember how Akwa Ibom State was created, and the local governments.
And Osho State too. And Delta State. Instead of the capital to be in Buhari, I thought no, it was taken to Asaba.
That's it.
For obvious reasons.
You remember
Ogidigbe? At the end of the state, they're supposed to be in the center.
Remember Ogbijo and Ogidigbe?
Yes,
in Delta.
They fought over it.
You know that, sir, as at 2001 census, Alimosho local government is bigger than Nasarawa State. Nasarawa State has 1.4 million population. Alimosho today cannot be less than 2.5 million, 3 million. Ooh. And Nasarawa is a state.
Yes. I think and they don't have many local governments.
7 local governments. Nasarawa State has 7 local governments. You can see the inequality in Nigeria.
has 8.
You can see the inequality in Nigeria.
Of course, we are looking at the size of Bayelsa, population-wise, and so on.
Is it population or land mass?
The population is small.
Yeah.
You know, population is very small.
Nasarawa is
but in terms of, you know, when you look at the size, a sizable portion of that state is covered by water. That's what makes it bigger than Lagos. Lagos is the smallest state in our country, you know. But Bayelsa, the Atlantic, is a major gateway to the Atlantic for our country. So plenty of water, areas covered by water. So it's quite big in that respect. But when you look at it, talking about the mainland, it's a very small state.
All right, so we say Ondo State, welcome. We also hope that the 33 new LCDAs will be 33 children that will hold a lot of promise. All right, we are going on a commercial break now. We should be back. Please stay with us.
Unwrap joy, unleash taste.
In today's world, our lifestyle, both at work and at play, depends on connectivity. Our connectivity depends on the devices that make it possible, and these devices depend on electric power. When power fails, our life shrinks, our work drops, and our joy dips. JRB Solar Energy Systems are here to ensure that we enjoy uninterruptible power, uninterruptible joy. Whether you're running a business, an institution, or just a home you return daily to rest, JRB has got you covered. No project is too big for our super digital inverters, long-lasting batteries, and efficient solar panels. Go. Dream on. change your world. JRB solar inverters, batteries, solar panels, solar streetlights and more. Telephone 0906 752 1111. Email sales@jrbsolar.com. With JRB, the sun's gonna shine on everything you do.
All right, then. Welcome back. Glad you're still there. Now to our next story. You know, a total of 11 states are yet to have representatives on the list of ministers designate, which raises the stakes for those angling to be named ministers as a compensation for the roles they played in the February 25 presidential election. Meanwhile, the Chief of Staff to the President, Honorable Femi Gbajabiamila, has dropped the hint that new ministries may be created. Today we have come to the mountain.
Yes. New ministries will be created, not made.
You say will, because...
Will be created. Yeah, that was it.
We have 28 so far.
Okay.
And,
new ministries will be created. The president will still name 42 ministers.
But 14 more.
Yes, because we have 28.
28 now.
But he's still going to, name in the final analysis 42 ministers. He's taking his time. And the 11 states that have not had ministers are Adamawa, Bayelsa, Gombe, Kano, Kebbi, Kogi, Lagos, Nasarawa, Osun, Yobe, Zamfara, FCT. Now, if you look at those states properly, APC had crisis in a good number of the states. You know, so part of the problem that Asiwaju has had is choosing ministers and choosing individuals that people will not get up and say, look, we are protesting, we've chosen the wrong person, these people didn't work for the party and all that. In Adamawa, the party broke into two. Binani and the current NSA worked at cross purposes. In the end, they lost the state. In fact, Asiwaju didn't open a campaign office there because the two factions came up with two campaign headquarters. So in order not to appear to be favoring a particular faction, after I finished campaigning, he just walked away. He didn't commission or he didn't inaugurate any campaign office in that place, unlike what happened in other places. So, you know, for Kano, it's been tough for the president to decide who he wanted in Kano, but perhaps now, with Ganduje taking up national chairmanship of the party, and hopefully it gets ratified by NEC, it will make the decision easier for the president now. So, and of course, you know the crisis in Gombe, the crisis in Kebbi, and Lagos. Is Lagos, yes, we are not talking about Lagos in terms of crisis, but I think it's just needing its time, trying to find the right person.
Abundance of stars.
Yes, and because some of the people, some of those people even, some of them are not from Lagos, not from Ogun. Some of the best associates of Asiwaju are either from Ogun or somewhere else, but been in Lagos for so long. So he has to, again, find the right balance. And Osun too is yet to pick someone. We heard that the former governor will be on the list, but the truth is, it's not on the first set. It's not on that list of the first set of ministers. But he has time. Zamfara. You know what went down. Yari making the president angry over his desire to be Senate president and all that. Again, in that place, he has to take his time to find the right person that the leadership or the members of the party will not come up and say, oh, where did you get this person? We don't want this person. He can't represent us. Because it's the right of every state to have at least a minister.
Yeah.
You know? You can choose two. And in this case, the president has chosen two from Katsina already. So they take, that means no other state from the northwest can have two ministers. So I don't envy the man, the position that he has found himself. It's real horse trading going on. You have to really juggle.
So this perhaps explains why it took this long to come up with the...
Yes. There are people on the list originally, they are no longer there. And again, because of what he plans to do, he plans to split the Petroleum Resources Ministry into two. You know, with gas, with focusing on gas. His gas plan is elaborate because the potential in that sector, many people do not see it. We have huge deposit of gas.
I heard the largest.
Yes, we have been planning our gas since
billions of
since 1972. Gas.
You know,
no, before 72. Because I schooled partly in Ogoniland.
So now he may either merge it with the power ministry or just create two ministries out of one. So this will happen. I also envisage, or I have a feeling, and it's also what I had campaigned for, that the information ministry, for example, should be split into two.
Yeah.
Let culture and tourism stay alone, because we need to give tourism. We need to give tourism priority attention now. Look at all the wealth that UAE has in terms of fossil
fuels.
Yes, yet they are spending so much money on tourism and they are making so much money. Do you know how many people climb the Burj Khalifa every day?
Yes.
Making so much money. People going to the very top of the tallest building in the world. And this thing, they've shown that, look, you cannot concentrate on petrodollar alone. There are other areas. We have potential in that sector that we have refused to tap. So hopefully, some of those ministries will be unbundled so that we can actually make more money from tourism.
Potential. Yeah, some names are here, you know. We might as well begin to jump through them, you know.
Well, I think let's just look at two names that I know. These are Betta Adu and Latif Fagbemi.
Yeah.
Yes, that lady, she's easily the youngest minister to have been named since 1999. We have politics in Nigeria. And when you go through
I think she's 36?
36 years old.
Yeah.
So, and when you go through her resume, where she has, for her age, and what she has packed into, and the fact that she has age on her side, and exposure too. One thing that is clear about the decision of Ajiasiwaju to pick minister that people don't know is that the man is trying to strike a balance between competence and politics, political expediency. You may be politically relevant from your state, but you may not necessarily be competent to be a minister. Because that's very, very important. That was the mistake the former president made. You just put people there without supervising them, and all of them became a lot.
In the past, things like this, you know, tended to remind us about political correctness, which is neither politics nor correct.
Because so when you appoint somebody that is not competent, that doesn't have what it takes, you cannot give what you don't have. When we looking at that lady now, if they put her in the Ministry of Health, she won't have any explanation to give to anybody why she refused to perform. Yes, you can say that she's very young, but she has packed in a lot. And I think that we should look at competence. That is very, very important. Anyway, her age too. And like I was telling people, out of 28 ministers, about 25% of them are ladies. 7 of them are ministers. So that is raising the bar to give women opportunity. Yeah, they're asking for 35%. And I told people that out of the remaining 14 ministers, 5 can still come, maybe still ladies. So this is giving them an opportunity.
So how many do they need to get?
They are asking for 35%. 35% will be, or 42 will be probably 14. It's about 14. So I don't know. That would be tough.
But when you look at the states,
when you look at all those states
that we have left, if you have a preponderance of southern states there, I could still think that is possible.
I think we also, besides also Lateef Fagbemi, that is a known legal practitioner who has got a niche for himself in the legal profession. You will see that most of the remaining nominees are relatively new people. They are not your run-of-the-mill politicians, which means they have been selected based on their perceived competence to deliver.
I see Honorable Ekperikpe Ekpo from Akwa Ibom State. That's a new one.
It's a new one. It's a new one. It's a new one. So Nigerians have been saying that we are tired of recycling old faces. I think by this name, for the president, like Jide said the other time, it's not so easy to pick ministers from a state where a lot of people have worked for you.
Yeah.
Because they want to say political correctness, like we said, political expediency. But we also have to know that competency is the key word. If you are not competent,
all of this,
the president will have problem. Even if the president is going to trust you wholly, you must be seen to be competent. If in the last 8 years we have competent people ruling us, we won't feel whether our president is interested or not. So I think with the fresh faces that I've seen here, about 12 fresh faces here, Nigerians should naturally expect that things will be different, and these people will perform. And these people also have a task ahead to make sure that, like the Governor Umahi did say, that he owes his own appointment to the belief in him by the president, that he's able to perform. Nobody campaigned for him, and that is going to make sure that he won't fail the president. We will expect him.
When you look at Ekperikpe Ekpo, was a member of the House of Reps between 2007 to 2011, and the Director General of Akwa Ibom Democratic Forum. So he's been around for some time. He's a skillful politician, and I think the president would find him useful. As for Lateef Fagbemi, born in Ijagbo, Kwara State, 1956, obtained his LLB from Unilag in 1981, and began his career from the chambers of Gani Fawemi, and then formed his own chambers, Lateef Fagbemi. Today, he's defending the APC in the presidential election petitions tribunal. He became a son in 2015. He has also served as a judge in various Nigerian courts, including the Federal High Court and the Court of Appeal. This position of the Attorney General is the most powerful in the cabinet. The Attorney General is rated as the most senior cabinet member, and that is the only position, that is the only job that the president cannot delegate to anyone.
Oh yeah, just anybody.
Yeah, you can't delegate it.
Not just anybody.
You can't delegate his job to anybody. And that is the only cabinet position that you have to be academically qualified for to occupy it. We've seen a pharmacist become Minister of Health in this country. But the Constitution...
A French teacher became the Minister of Health, if you remember, in the Abacha years.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. This one, but the Attorney General, you can't delegate.
For justice, because
it's up to anyone.
It's two portfolios.
And as president, you can't do his job, because as president, you can make yourself Minister of Works, Minister of Petroleum, but you can't make yourself Attorney General. So that position is key, and we must find someone, the right person, someone with a good head on his shoulders. I think Lateef Fagbemi, a lot of his colleagues are happy that the president chose.
It's going that way.
Yes, and he doesn't have the sort of scandals that you read about other people in the public domain. And you look at Mohammed Idris.
Yeah,
this is a man that...
Mohammed Bello Idris.
Yes. Mohammed Bello Idris is a publisher of Blueprint newspaper. So it's like picking one of our own, he was a communication consultant to the responsible for the promotion of nomadic education in northern Nigeria, the Federal Ministry of Agric. From 2007 to 2009, he led the committee that developed and implemented training guide for TED funds across Nigeria from 2009 to 2011, and was appointed as communication consultant by INEC from 2017 to 2021. He dumped the APC for the PDP in 2019 and returned to the APC not long after that. Okay, it was Abubakar Momo that actually dumped the APC. That's the man from Edo State. Abubakar Momo is Esako East, a civil engineer, two-time member of the House of Reps. When I saw that name, I said, I hope this is not my brother from Kogi Central, because it looks very much like their name. And when you hear some people from that part of Edo speak, you think that they are Ibiras. Even the same accent.
The northern Edo accent.
Yes. Yeah. You think that this is an Ibira person because the accent is the same. As a physician, very popular physician in Abuja, who once treated me. When he was speaking, I said, is this an Ibira man? Are you my brother from Kogi? And he said, no, I'm from Edo State. But the accent is exactly, so maybe they are even originally Ibira people, but that's for historians to come up with. I think that when you look at the way the president, literally most of the places that the president went to, Better I Do was with him.
Yes.
I think over time the president found her very useful, very energetic, and look, for her age, she has led the women of APC very well. You know, we've had opportunities to interview her, to interact with her. Age, leadership is not a function of
age. Yes.
You can be as old as Methuselah and not have leadership qualities. You know, but when you are given responsibility, you are expected to live up to expectation. And I think that Better I Do, in terms of the energy she showed during the campaign, in terms of her commitment, in terms of the leadership spirit that she has shown, leading the women of APC.
May I drop this now at this point, Tunde Jide? Allowing the women become active in politics is becoming an emerging trend, if you see what I mean.
Well, it's a necessity.
Well, I think it's a necessity. It's a project which time has come. Because we see failure in all aspects of human endeavor. And yes, it doesn't necessarily translate to the fact that if a woman is in position, she will not abuse her office. After all, we have seen women who practically carry Nigeria inside their pocket. But then, for somebody who has a calling, we must continue giving them opportunity to show the goals they have, to show what they have. And they can change the narration of irresponsible governance in Nigeria. I think we have many of them all over.
Yeah. There's a friend, there's a man that I saw here, Ahmed Musa Dangiwa. He's an architect from Katsina State, from a local government called Kankia, not far away from the border with Kano. He was in the cabinet of Governor Bello Masari. He became the MD of Federal Mortgage Bank, contested for governorship and lost. The contest for Katsina governorship this last time was very keen and star-studded. We had some real big individuals in the race, and we had people like Max Air owner, Dairu Mangal, getting involved. Or at the end of the day, Ahmed Musa Dangiwa, who will soon be 60 years, lost. But after he lost, the man who vanquished him, the current governor, Diko Rada, appointed him as SSG.
Okay.
He had barely even begun work as SSG when Ashwaju picked him and made him a minister designate from Katsina. Katsina will have to, because Musawa, Anatu Musawa is also
from that place, yes.
From there. So there are two now on Katsina. I think the president, having first made Anatu Musawa essay on culture, entertainment, and the rest, I think the president has some plans for her. And when we talk about recalibrating some ministries, bifurcating some ministries,
entertainment and
I guess that's
tourism.
Yes,
can go
you can imagine. Look at the potential that we have. Even entertainment
in Nigeria.
You can imagine if government backs these young guys fully. All over the world is Nigerian songs that they are singing.
Yes.
Look at how these guys. Look at the level that they've taken us to. People like Davido. Wizkid, Burna Boy, even this boy from my state, Ruga. They've taken us to great levels. Everyone is talking about Nigeria. We now need government to really galvanize these boys, and with a ministry, headed by a young person, someone someone of their generation. Hopefully, that energy will propel the entertainment sector to...
I was still a young boy, and I'm sure Tunde, you too, and Jide, when I was hearing Yankari Game Reserve.
Yep.
So I hear it's a veritable paradise. I've not been there.
It's been neglected over the years, and a lot of the animals that used to have, no longer, they're no longer there.
Yeah.
And, we've also talked about the Kainji Lake National Park.
Yes.
Today, it's inhabited by Boko Haram and other terrorist kidnappers. And it's a vast area. We've neglected our forest reserves for so long. These boys have found habitation in those forest reserves, and they are now tormenting us with places that we used to go to make ourselves happy. So I will be happy to see the roadmap to revitalizing the Nigerian tourism sector, and we have people who are very clear-headed about even tourism issues that we can use. Remember, Dem Duke is still there. My elder brother from Ijebu, Runsewe, is still there. Yes, so we still have people like that who are committed. We need a ministry that focuses on developing that sector and bringing out the potential that we had neglected for so long.
One thing has come to mind now, here and now, the National Orientation Agency.
NOA.
I hope Mr. President is thinking.
It's part of the Ministry of Information. What needs to be done is to strengthen that agency.
That department.
And how do you strengthen it? Provide funds, because a lot of what appointees of government come out to do, the NOA has staff in all the local governments in the country. NOA is just like the old MAMSA, except that the old MAMSA was far more effective. And the people who ran MAMSA at that time, many of them are still alive.
I remember the professor of geography, Jeremiah.
This man.
We are teach where? Professor Jerry Ghana.
Some of them are still alive, and we can actually borrow from those ideas. Ifeanyi Udin, the writer, he worked with, my dad actually worked at MAMSA in Kwara State then. And Ifeanyi Udin was one of the people who worked with him. The first NUJ president, Ashaju, Chief Michael Ashaju, was the head of MAMSA in Kwara State at that time.
And he used the Sholafala Resho in Ogun State.
So we can turn NOA to what MAMSA was, fund it properly. Because It's so easy for us to come and run down NOA, say, NOA, what are they doing? They do nothing. You do not know what their problems are. It's until you know what their problems are that you can feel that, look, you are doing the right thing by saying they didn't do this, they didn't do that.
Sorry, before we run away, let's go to Enugu. Mr. President has penciled Chief Uche Naji.
Yeah.
I hear he's a top-notch APC chieftain.
Yes, he was an APC Guba candidate. They just concluded the 2023 election in Enugu. He won election as Senator Enugu East in 1999, but unconditionally relinquished the seat to Jim Nwobodo.
Yes.
That is selflessness in politics, to relinquish a position to your political leader. Not many people are happy to do that. And the president needs people with that mindset, people prepared to sacrifice. Because, look, the new Nigeria, the Nigeria that we are talking about, we don't know yet where that new Nigeria is taking us. We have many Nigerians who are impatient. Those who will praise a government this moment, but when they start feeling some pains, they will start, even something that they supported, they will start condemning it. There's no other name for some people other than hypocrites. You can't say you hate subsidy because some of our competitors were feeding fat from it. And then when
like the regulation,
you were warned that it will bring pains. Suddenly you are saying they shouldn't have removed. What are you saying now?
All right, quickly. Cross River State Senator John Owa Eno.
You know, that's an Asiwaju person. Any day, anytime. And, you know, when I saw his name, I said, yes, Asiwaju has liked this man for so long. He's made efforts to win the governorship in that state. It's not been successful. But at last now, Asiwaju has brought him to the role of a minister, and I'm sure he will deliver. He has an MSc in demography from Unical, and he was in the House of Reps for a record third term. In 2015, he was declared winner of the Cross River Central Senatorial District. He was born in 1966. He's already moving close to the sixth floor. So he's, you know, Asiwaju likes loyalty. He rewards loyalty a lot, especially to parties. So Asiwaju has just demonstrated to Eno that when you are loyal, your reward will come someday. But I've known him to be an Asiwaju person for quite some time.
Yeah, today that will just about do it. And as we say, a team is as good as the captain. By the way, our girls made us proud yesterday.
Yes, I'm very happy.
I can say it in passing. It's possible.
It is. The Nigerian spirit was what I saw. And for people also talking about what happened with Kano in 1996.
Okay.
The Olympic gold winning team.
Yes.
You know, never give up. Never give up. You can be sure that if you don't give up, success may come your way.
All right. So we wish them well. Okay, then, that will just about do it for the program today and this week. You watch a repeat of this broadcast at 11 later tonight, and join us, if you please, on Sunday from 1:30 to 3:30 for the show. We are also on YouTube at youtube.com/TVC News Nigeria. I am Citizen Jones Hussein. On behalf of the Backroom Boys, I say thank you for watching. Bye-bye now.
Following is a paid presentation by ShopX TV.
Do you spend the night trying to get comfortable? Your knees rub bone on bone, your back and hips ache. You wake up in pain? Not anymore. ShopX TV is proud to introduce the Contour Legacy Pillow, the patented, ergonomically designed tapered leg pillow that naturally fits the contours of your legs, knees and thighs to help align your spine and alleviate pain. Watch, when you sleep on your side, your leg falls forward, twisting your pelvis and lower back, putting pressure on your spine, hip and sciatic. But the Contour Legacy Pillow cushions your knees and cradles your legs, relieving stress on joints while restoring your lower back alignment. Sleeping on your side, your leg comes over and puts you out of alignment, causing lower back pain, hip pain, even knee pain. By using the Contour Legacy Pillow, it restores the natural alignment of the spine, helping to alleviate pain and pressure, leading to much more restful sleep. Old-fashioned leg pillows are bulky, but the anatomical design of the Legacy Pillow fits perfectly the shape of your body the way nature intended. You can even use two together for full leg alignment. Legacy Pillow is exclusively ventilated, so it always stays cool and dry. With top crescent design, it cuddles up to you perfectly and easily moves with you. Ordinary pillows go flat, but the Legacy Pillow is made up of soft memory foam, so it never loses its shape and the cover is machine washable. The Contour Legacy Pillow is now available in Nigeria, exclusively from ShopX TV. You could be paying up to 500,000 naira for an orthopedic bed that doesn't properly support your spine. But call the number on your screen now and get 2 Legacy leg pillows for just 69,900 naira and get relief from back and hip issues. But wait! If you call now, we'll upgrade you to the Contour Better Sleep Collection. The collection comes with 2 Contour Legacy leg pillows and 2 Contour Cool Gel head pillows at no extra charge. The Contour Cool Gel head pillows' soothing orthopedic support will cradle your head and neck for full alignment, while keeping you cool all through the night for the best sleep of your life. In